It's been a while. It's been a while to talk some Eagles. I'm one of the guys that took a little breather once the season ended, rode with some other hot topics, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers. But here we go. This is pretty big news as Howie, Roseman, and the Philadelphia Eagles say, Nick Foles, thank you so much for everything that you have done for this organization, but it is time to let you go. We are not going to tag and trade you. You can walk as a free agent, go test the water, and then see what happens. Now, I'm okay with this. First off, I trust Howie Roseman. If there's one thing that this guy has done for us since he took back the team from the era we all don't want to talk about, he's been very successful. He's made some really good moves, and I'm going to trust this one. There was a lot to do. This wasn't an easy thing where you just pick up the phone and say, hey, I got Nick Foles who wants to tag and trade with me. This was not a situation like that. Also, understanding our cap space, there is just so much involved in a move of this nature. Imagine having a face-to-face, not on paper, commitment with a team, and so you tag Nick Foles for that $20 million and all that, and then they pull out on you. Then what do? Then you're stuck with a team that's already in trouble with money, and you have Nick Foles there, and there's just so much to take into this. It's not as simple as, well, just trade him and get it. It's not that simple. So I get it. It's a tough move to do. I'm not here for the argument of, we picked the wrong quarterback. We sent the wrong quarterback out. Nick Foles is... I'm not here for that. Go ahead. Have fun in the comments about it. I won't even think about those comments. I'll scroll right over top of them because I know they're coming. This is reality. We're going to get a compensation pick for this too, by the way, so we will have something to look forward to since Nick Foles is not going to re-sign with the Eagles, of course. This is reality. We are moving along. The storyline of Nick Foles, it was great, and we will take a look at everything that he did for this city when he took over and all that. We will. But it's time to move forward here with Carson Wentz. That's what it is. So for all the Nick Foles lovers that hate Carson Wentz for some reason, sorry to tell you, it's Carson's team moving forward, and we all knew that. We all knew that. That's the nature of this situation. So taking a look at what Howie Roseman was saying today, great teammate and a huge resource for Carson and Nate Sudfeld as well, but at the same time, he deserves an opportunity to lead a team. It's a goal of his to lead another team, to lead another locker room, and we feel at this point this is the right decision. We made the decision as an organization, and we feel very comfortable with it. Hard decision because he's someone who means a lot to us individually and personally, but we felt this is the right thing to do. Then it goes on and talks about what were the options. What were the options here with Nick Foles and the tag and trade? And he says, for us, this is the decision we made, and we know what the rules are, but at the end of the day, this is what we felt best. So Howie Roseman talking to the media, discussing his move here with Nick Foles, and would I have liked to see something happen? Everyone's talking about, what would you do, Leonard Fournette, Jalen Ramsey, make moves with the Jags, try and get him and all that. That sounds great from an outsider's perspective. And then try and actually think about making this move. Are the Jags definitely 100% saying yes to letting go of Jalen Ramsey, arguably the best cornerback in the league? It sounds great to us. Yeah, no brainer, do it. But there's so much invested into these moves. So you have to move forward here, and we'll take this is going to be a little let's appreciate what he did for us kind of thing here on the back end of the video, and it's time to change the page. It's time to flip the page, and we are going all in with Carson. I think this is the right move, honestly, for Carson's mental health. To go through another season with Nick Foles as the backup and have to go through that type of mental block, I couldn't even imagine. So it started off last year with the Eagles-Rams when Carson Wentz goes down. Nick Foles steps in, and we beat LA in LA. Phenomenal. We look at the backstretch here before the playoffs start. We get a greasy win in New York and a really ugly Christmas Day game. I remember sitting there on Christmas, and it was just atrocious, but we find a way to beat the Oakland Raiders. It wasn't really Nick Foles' being Nick Foles that we all remember in the playoffs, but it got the job done. The last week of the season when we lost 6-0 to the Cowboys doesn't even matter. We headed home to the Falcons, and that came really, it wasn't another great story for Nick Foles. That was all the defense coming up big and crucial on a fourth down stop in their red zone. That's where that came down to. But the conference championship game, obviously, we will never forget. Minnesota coming in. Go! Go! Yeah. We all know we changed it to Foles as he had a phenomenal day, 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we just kill him 38-7 in our home building. Oh, I'm getting the chills just thinking about it. I really am. I'm getting the chills just thinking about it. After this video, I think I'm going to go watch Super Bowl 52. Nick Foles in the Super Bowl. We outduel the greatest quarterback to ever do it, Tom Brady. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. The Philly special, the flea flicker pass, the Torrey Smith touchdown, the back of the end zone catch to Corey Clement, the touchdown to Zach Ertz. It was all amazing. It was all absolutely amazing what he did for us in the Super Bowl. And I mean, his legend will live here forever. That's without a doubt. But it is time to move on. Let's just keep mentioning that. Let's just keep focusing on that. It is time to move on. And even this season, the first couple games he had to start, but that's not where really the magic happened. We were in a predicament, not the best circumstances. Our defense allowed a ton of things to happen, fourth and longs in overtime and all kinds of miserable things. Nick Foles steps in. We beat LA. We beat Houston. We beat Washington. We beat Chicago. Although he didn't play his greatest game, it came down to a field goal. When it mattered in the fourth quarter, he came down. He made it happen. And then we fell to the Saints. Obviously, we all know how that happened after taking a 14-0 lead early. So, just reminiscing on his games. I'll never forget what he did here for the city. But Howie Roseman, he ends up making the executive decision here as an organization to not do the tag and trade. You want to argue it. It was the wrong thing to do. You got to think about the assets for the future. But you also need to factor this in on how crazy we are right now with cap space and where we are in the league and trying to move around contracts and trying to restructure things and picking up options and leaving options and Jason Peters. And there's just so much involved. This isn't an easy situation to be in. And I think at some point I say, you know what? Let's just worry about what we need to worry about money-wise. We'll let him go do his thing. I'm sure, and I trust Howie Roseman, that he tried options. Don't get me wrong. There's no way Howie Roseman sat there and said, I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to do nothing. He definitely tried, and then at the end of the day, he probably realized this is going to be a little bit more difficult than I expected. There's a lot that we're going through right now as an organization. We have the draft. We have free agency. Let's see what happens if we let him walk, and we will worry about our team moving forward. And that's what happened, essentially. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like I said, if you want to scream and say we traded the wrong guy, more power to you. I won't give you any time of day because that's just not the truth. And it doesn't change anything because this is the move that we went with, and it's just reality that Carson Wentz has a better upside. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me because I know what's coming. I know what's coming. As for the Eagles, this is weird. I'll be honest with you. It's weird. I mean, I love the Eagles. I bleed green. They are my blood, my passion when it comes to Philly sports. But it's been a nice, a nice breath of fresh air, to be honest with you, to kind of settle it down. Because when you think about it, and it's Eagles season, not that there's anything wrong with this, you have the game on Sunday, which is the greatest/worst time of my life because of my anxiety going and my heart racing, but it's also phenomenal. Monday, you break it down emotionally. Tuesday, you break it down with more of a better viewpoint because you had an extra night's sleep. Wednesday, you're still kind of dissecting it, maybe looking towards the next game. Thursday, you're definitely looking towards the next game. Friday, X's and O's. Saturday, you're pumped about it. Sunday, game. And it's just constant Eagles for so many months. It's been nice. It's been nice. As much as I love my birds, as much as I love seeing Le'Veon Bell and other players tweeting back and forth, although I don't think that's worth the money. At the end of the day, moral of the story. We always get the moral of the story here on Sports Talk with Broads. Nick Foles, no longer a Philadelphia Eagle. Thank you so much. It was an amazing journey you put us through. 2 consecutive years. Thank you. Amazing. Great person. Great teammate. It's time to move forward. Let's flip the page, and we're back on the Carson Wentz train. It's time to watch Howie do his thing here in the offseason. Lots to do. Lots to do. I'm curious to see what we attack in the draft. It's going to be interesting. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.